What's up, YouTube? Knight's Edge here again. Got a pretty cool little review for you today. This one is thanks to Mr. Eddie sending me this knife, and he sent quite a few pretty good ones, and really like to give him a shout out, and y'all go check out his Instagram, and he's got a YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. He's out there, so go check him out. He makes some cool knives. He's got a pretty cool collection, a lot of cool ones for sale also on the Discord down below if you guys want to check them out. Also, thanks to all my viewers, channel members, Patreons. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate everyone. Just help keeping me going. It's people like Mr. Eddie, the Ponds, Fred the Lug, Lanyard Man, just tons of people that have sent me knives to where I can keep trying to put out like a video a day and check out a lot of really cool knives in the process. Hit the like button if you like the content. Subscribe right down there if you want more of it, and let's get into the review. This is the Grimsmo Knives Rask. Now this one is made by Grimsmo Knives in Canada. It's a Canadian made knife maker, a couple of brothers that are out of a shop up in Canada. They have some people working for them now, so pretty much every individual one is different on this. Pretty unique little knife when you get into it. I'll do a disassembly video that should be out. I don't know if that's gonna be out today or tomorrow, but within a day of seeing this review, you guys will see the disassembly video of it too. A lot of pretty cool little Easter eggs and stuff inside of this thing. So let's go ahead and cover what's on the outside of it. Let's do the regular review. Tip of the blade into the handle, you are looking at right around almost 8 inches on the dot. So right at what I would say is a full-size knife. Blade length, if you go from the tip of the blade to where the handle meets up with the blade there, the handle scale meets up with the blade right at 3.5 inches, with a little room left over inside that flipper tab slash finger choil area there. Cutting edge on this kind of terminates right around 3 and what do we call that, right at 3 1/4 on the cutting edge. Get out the calibers here. Make sure they're zeroed out. Thickest part of the spine, let's see, you're looking at 130, right around 130 thousandths, thickest part of the spine. And behind the edge goes down to about 18 thousandths right there. What I'm getting behind the edge. 22 thousandths there. Let's double check it, another spot. 15 thousandths there. So it goes down pretty thin, I guess, is the point around the edge. And 383 thousandths on that handle thickness on that. So pretty thin, kind of a much thinner, much different knife than the Norseman. And we'll compare that to the Norseman here in just a second. Go ahead and do size comparisons. Let's see, we'll get out some of the usual suspects first. Got your Ontario Knives Rat Model 1 and Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. So kind of in between the two, closer I would say to the size of the Rat 1. Get out some Demko brothers here. You got your cold steel knives, AD10. Fit that all in the camera there. I got the camera a little too close on this one. Here is Demko knives, 80-20.5. That's a cold steel 80-10. I can't remember if I said cold steel or Demko. I get those mixed up all the time whenever I'm showing those, as everybody knows. Here's the Spyderco Paramilitary 2 up next to the Rask. And here is your Spyderco Para 3. Alright, and let's see, let's do a couple of oddly unusual size comparisons. There is another awesome knife. That is a Sparrow Knives Strix. And here is the Hinder XM18. Alright, and let's see, we'll do two more Canadian. First up, that's your North Arm Sky High. Another nice thin slicey Canadian knife. Small batch. This one's small, not a small batch I guess as the Rask, but still pretty nice little thin bladed Canadian knife there, made by a father-son duo up in Canada. This is North Arm Sky High. And last but certainly not least, I would say the Rask bigger brother there is the Grimsmo Knives Norseman up against the Rask. You can definitely draw some parallels, but you can definitely there are some differences between the two for sure. The quality I would say is a parallel, right? That's something that's there between these two, hands down, from the milling of the screws to the just all the quality and consistency that goes into a Grimsmo knife. But the difference is, as far as this video is concerned, I am going to do another video between these two, kind of like a little showdown battle video. But the differences right there with size aren't too much in the length department. A little bit different ergonomically, although fairly similar, with that kind of swoop down on that flipper tab, that kind of similar ergonomics right there a little bit. But the blade shape definitely a lot different on the Norseman, right? Or a lot different from the Norseman. So let's go ahead, we'll get out the scale here. Let's see. Make sure she's zeroed out. Now this thing is really light. I haven't weighed it yet. It's just, it feels like a lightweight, super slicey little knife. So I would say my guess would be 3.8. Well, even lighter than that, 3.1. So sitting, I don't know, I'll put that back in frame a little bit. 3.1 ounces on that. I need to get a different scale too, where the numbers show up a little better. 3.1 ounces on the weight on the Rask. So definitely under the ounce and inch ratio. And as you can see on the disassembly video, or as you will see, I don't know if I put it out yet or not, whenever y'all are watching this, but it does have some milling inside there. I'll show that with a flashlight here in a minute, because there's something else I wanted to kind of talk about in there. So that's how it carries in the pocket. Not especially like deep carry, but definitely not like it doesn't stick up like a super large amount. Pocket clip is really nice milled titanium pocket clip with the Grimsmo logo on it. Same pattern as the handle scale pattern on this one. And to disassemble this one, all you need is a T9. And again, covered that in the disassembly video, but here's a T9, and they give you that in the box. So T9 on the body screws, the two body screws there, and those two are T9 also. Single-sided captive pivot, T9. Just this thing is awesome and easy to disassemble, nice and easy, and lots of really cool touches on the inside. So that's pretty much the overview and specs. My thoughts on the knife, we'll go with ergonomics first. This thing feels awesome in hand ergonomically. Pretty much only one position. I mean, you could choke, I guess, back a little bit to where your pinky's kind of off the edge maybe, but this is right here is pretty natural. And also, thanks to that kind of swooping flat going up to that sharpening choil there, you can choke up on it a little bit right there. All right, so you can get in there, and that's pretty comfortable too. Clip's not a hot spot, no jimping, none needed, I don't think, on that spine. It's not sharp or anything like that. Let's get into aesthetics. There you go, Rask number 1244. RWL 34 is the steel on it. Pretty neat that they stamped that on the top of the spine, and otherwise the blade is sterile. I like how they did that. Really nice stone wash, acid wash on the blade. Now, one really cool thing about these, you can look this up, and I'll probably try to flash it on the screen when I'm doing the editing of this, if I remember that to do that. But you can look up this exact one, just like the Norseman. You can go on GrimsmoKnives.com on the archives for the Rask, and you can look up Rask number 1244, and it'll show you this exact one. So that's why I would kind of consider this more towards custom than mid-tech, even though they do use machines. You know, that's I don't know, I guess depends on your definition of it, but these are individually fairly unique, I would say. So they got a full description on the website. What I'm looking at right now, it says Rask number 1244. Original sell price on this was $9.75, and yeah, it's not $9.75. That's almost $1,000 knife. You can get them on the secondary for cheaper if you check out like Cots2 Swap and all that on Instagram, and sometimes on Blade Binge. You know, they do go for, of course, cheaper than that, but these are very limited. You know, they don't have them hanging off of the shelves at DLT or anything like that. So looking at the description off of the website, it says bronze streamlined pattern anodized titanium handles, blue anodized titanium hardware, acid etched and tumbled RWL 34 cryo treated blade, ceramic bearings, and AEBL stainless steel lock bar insert. So all that is pretty neat. I think the streamline on the handles, that really fine smaller milling that goes into that, you can really feel it. But it's not grabby or anything like that. You can just feel it if you break your finger or your thumb over it, feels quite comfortable. I would say I really like it. Really smooth action on those ceramic bearings. As soon as you clear that detent, it just kind of drops shut. Don't even really have to shake it, maybe a little bit. When I first got it from Mr. Eddie, before I disassembled it, it would just drop shut. So the pivot was a little bit loose, which that happens over time. So I did do the disassembly on it already, and oiled it up, cleaned it, all that, and it is good to go. Rock solid lockup on this. Blade perfectly centered. Just, this is, and by a lot of people's definition, will be the perfect knife. I mean, I think it's, and it depends on your taste on it too. I mean, some people, you might love it, you might hate it, you might hate the aesthetics. I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of the price, you know, but this is a very small batch, what I would consider close to custom without actually being handmade as it gets. Now let's look on the inside of it, and you can't really tell from without taking it apart, but in there it's got the exact date, June of 2022, when this one was made, stamped inside the clip. And down here towards the end it says June, I think it said June 23rd, I believe, and it has the exact second and minute that that it was created. So it's got 1853 at 53 seconds or something like that. It's got the exact second, whatever it was. You can see it in my disassembly video that this thing was made. So I think that's pretty cool. You know, and the Grimsmo Knives logo, all that stuff. A lot of neat little things about this knife. Really solid, really awesome little knife. Well worth the money if anyone's into, and the milling on the inside also. You can see that it's kind of milled out for a little bit of weight reduction on the inside. This is essentially like a lightweight version, or not lightweight version, but a lightweight alternative to the Norseman. I believe Rask means like swift or something like that in Norse. So yeah, check out the disassembly video, and upcoming should have a showdown video, battle video, comparison video between the two, between this and the Norseman coming up. But the Rask stands on its own as an awesome knife, and really great parallel to the Norseman, I think. So again, shout out to Mr. Eddie for loaning me this knife. Really cool of you to do that, and for letting me check it out. And thanks to all my channel members, Patreons, and subscribers, everybody watching. Appreciate everybody, and I will see you guys on the next one.